Hello and welcome to Cuisine Critiques. It's been a while since we put out a Cuisine Critiques, and the eatery that I'm talking about um, tonight, I mentioned back a few critiques ago when I and George Hutchinson attended Southside Diner. If you recall that, or if you happen to catch it, you'll might remember that George and I kind of took a little tour of the immediate area down in the Fort McHenry area, and I think it's called McHenry Row down further. But when I was there, I kind of noticed that there was a bright orange sign noting that it served chicken and biscuits, chicken tenders and biscuits, I should say. And immediately, that's one of my wife's favorite things. I thought about taking her down there. Unfortunately, our schedules did not meet that we could go down for lunch during the week. Today was a different thing. She was off, I was off, and after visiting my niece, we decided to go down to McHenry Row. And in the name of the place, it's CHX Premium Kitchen. I think it's supposed to be Chicks. I didn't ask the folks while I was down there, but it is Chicks Premium Kitchen. It is located at 1724 Whetstone Way in Baltimore. And like I say, it's down in the McHenry Row area. So, the wife and I went down and we decided to try it out. And this is the critique. So we get to the restaurant. It is today is October the 18th. It's not actually it's a quite pleasant day, but at this time that we walked in, it wasn't a lot of customers at the time, which was okay with me. As we walked in, we passed one employee, and I don't know, I think he's more probably of a supervisor, though he wore the uniform. And there was one other very nice young lady that was on the inside. Well, anyway, while we're trying to not so much decipher the menu, we were trying to decide what we were going to get. And at that time, the gentleman had came back in. He asked us, was it our first time there? And it was. But he seemed very patient with the time we were taking to go over the menu. Long story short, we decided to get each get the number one. It is called the Three Little Chicks, CHX, so it is Chicks. Which consisted of 3 chicken tenders, 1 honey buttermilk biscuit, crinkle fries, and a Cajun vinaigrette slaw, and 1 of the chick sauce. If you know me, I'm not big on vegetables, even less with a slaw or a salad. And he said that the slaw was more like a salad than a slaw, but I don't eat salads either. But in retrospect, as I do these cuisine critiques, I need to probably expand my culinary palate. And while sitting with the wife, I said, "Yo, well, if it's going to come, I'd try it." But I remembered that I told them not to hold a slaw, which they did. So the one thing that I like the ambiance, and I'm sure that it's crowded. At the time I'm shooting this, I'm sure it's crowded. That area is probably very popular with young people. The place itself is probably very popular with the young people. But the area that it sat on sits on a corner. The inside is has very good ambiance, I should say. There were tables throughout the restaurant, but there's outdoor seating that George and I had noticed when we came past. And like I said, when we came back from the Southside Diner, when we saw it, there was a good crowd on the inside and on the outside. But if you're eating inside of the restaurant, there is a counter space where you can sit at the counter and order. Like I said, tables on the inside, and there were several tables on the outside. So we gave the gentleman our order, and we went and sat at one of the taller tables and just kind of took in the surroundings of the restaurant. Now, the wife asked, was it a sports bar? She asked that, I think more so because there are several TV monitors located around the restaurant, and most were on sports type programs. And it does have maybe a sports bar type feel to it, excuse me. And the one thing that'll make it stand out from a place like a Popeyes or KFC, which is, again, it's a Chick's premium kitchen. It has a premium feel. It's not like a Popeyes or KFC, but one of the things that sets it apart, it does have alcoholic beverages. It has a bar behind the counter that we were telling you about. While it may have a sports bar type feel, it doesn't quote itself as having a sports bar. Went on to its website, and it doesn't say anything about a sports bar there either. But I think it just has a feel that where people would gather after work, looking at the game, before game, after a game. It does have that kind of feel to it. And actually, if you were standing at the counter to the right in the corner, or where the restrooms at, and just before the restrooms is a nice area that's laid out with about 3 or 4 couches set in a open square or triangle, where I guess people would sit and converse, in a very comfortable setting. So it, like I said, the feel of it is really nice. I think I could probably go down for dinner as well as lunch. So, we're looking around the place, as we're waiting on the food, and just making small talk and noticing how it was laid out. Very clean, very accessible, a lot of room to move around. So if it did get a big crowd in it, I don't think a lot of people would be running into each other. Excuse me, would be running into each other. So after some time, and I don't think it was a exorbitant amount of time, because one of the things that they quote is that their food was hot, and excuse me, it came very hot. Okay, so like I said, the meal itself came. It had 3 chicken tenders, very good size, very good size. I don't want to compare it to another restaurant, but the size of their tenders are very similar to those at Dave's Hot Chicken that I tried a month or so ago. And they had 3 tenders, and these were very large tenders. It also quotes a honey buttermilk biscuit. Now, the honey buttermilk biscuit, which was very good. It might be more biscuit as in name, maybe in a slight texture and taste kind of way. And the reason I say that is the biscuit itself comes wrapped in wax paper, and all at once you see that it's not round. It's a square that sits maybe maybe 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches high. It seems more like a pastry than a biscuit. Very flaky. and has a honey glaze over the top of it, very sticky. So if you open it up, make sure you hold it by the paper or have something to wipe your hands off because it is honey. But it's not overly sweet, which doesn't take it into the description of a pastry. But it has a uniqueness to it, the squareness, the honey feel to it, the flaky layers. That doesn't keep it as a biscuit, but I think that's a good name to it. Came with an ample amount of crispy fries. They are crispy fries. They are a little bit smaller than some people might be used to, but they give you enough to to satisfy you, and as a good side dish. Like I say, I opted not to get the vinaigrette slaw. If I go down when my brother comes up from North Carolina, I may take him down there for a couple of reasons that I'll get to shortly. But he likes chicken, and he would like the atmosphere. But it comes with a chick sauce. While he was describing the menu to us, meaning the gentleman that took our order, and like I said, I think he's probably a supervisor. During the time we were there, several people came in to talk to him, and it looked business-like. So he's either the manager, the owner, operator, or what. But he described the chick sauce as mayonnaise base with spices and seasoning. Very, very good. Not overwhelming, not very spicy. Complements the chicken very well. They give you one sauce, but for three tenders, you need two. I had two because the wife did not choose to use that sauce. She likes hot sauce, which will come around to her critique when I finish this. But it was like I said, the pieces. There are three pieces. It's ample. It's very filling, and I'll get back to their desserts. But I had intentions of purchasing a dessert, but after the meal, I did not. I didn't have room for it. It is now 7:30 in the evening. I have had a little bite to eat when I came in, but after having lunch, and this was around 1:30, I am still feeling it, and I didn't have room for the dessert. So let me get around to my wife's critique. Hers is her opinion is a little bit different than mine, but for if anyone knows her, for obvious reasons. The chicken tenders, they don't come in spicy. She likes spicy tenders, or spicy sauces. Like I say, they have the chick sauce, but they did have some hot sauce that we had to request, but she would rather have something other than hot sauce to put directly on it. So her critique is in that it doesn't have a spicy variety to it. Whether they'll get that or not, I'm not sure. But I'm sure that if you the way they have it set up, I think as well with the chick sauce and such. She did get the hot sauce to go with it, but she rather had something similar to a hot barbecue sauce or something like that. She did agree that the three tenders were and the fries were more than enough to satisfy your appetite. She didn't eat her honey buttermilk biscuit. I finished that off a few minutes ago. Like I said, I had a little bite to eat. I finished that off a few minutes ago. But overall, she was pleased with both the amount of chicken, the size of the chicken, and the fries, and the cost that it ran for that meal, which was right around $13 for the three little chicks, or the number one meal that we got. She thought that it was they complemented each other with the price and how much that you got. The food, like I say, the food did come out very warm. it and they brought it to the table. The young lady brought it to the table. As I said, the manager, supervisor, and one employee, a very nice looking young lady, very quiet spoken, very professional. They both, during the meal, checked in with us to see if we needed anything, not overbearing in their presence. And definitely not so far that if you needed something that you couldn't get it. Now, the dessert that I didn't have, they have listed as a dessert, and I have their menu on my other screen. Custard. I like custard. If everyone knows me, even though the season is over, I did get maybe 3 Rita custards from springtime to now. But they have a 12-ounce custard with it, and then they have a twist on that. They have, which one of my wife's favorites is the root beer float. And she said that, hey, if she wasn't getting full and she didn't know, if she didn't know that she would snack on something when she got home, we try to both calorie count her more than me. But she's very dedicated to what she eats, how she eats, and the and just in her intake of things during the day. They had a root beer float that she didn't take advantage of. But what I found interesting is they have a orange float and they have a grape float. I don't think I've heard of either one of them. They do spark my curiosity. For the orange, my sister-in-law is going to love this. They have an orange crush for the soda or the pop, depending on what part of the country you live in. But they use a orange crush for the orange float and a grape crush for the grape float. I think it's different. When Brent and Doris comes up, we're going to go down there, and then I don't know. I actually don't know if. Yeah, I do. I think she would take that float. She does like ice cream. So that's what they consider their desserts. I look at their menu and they use words like dessert and biscuit when they have a twist on those. And speaking of the twist on the biscuit, I don't want to be reminiscing that. The honey buttermilk biscuit is made locally at Need's Bakery. Need's Bakery is a subsidiary of H&S Bakery that basically owns a lot of the bakeries in the area. Not oddly enough, I guess a trivia fact is that in the 70s, when I was in my teens, I actually worked for a subsidiary of H&S Bakeries called Automatic Rolls out on Moravia Road. But anyway, their menu is chicken tenders with the biscuits. They do have a chicken sandwich. I saw it on the menu. I very well may try that the next time that I go down. It will be too late for this particular critique, but I think I definitely going to go back down and try the custard. But I think probably if I don't eat too much at breakfast and go down for lunch after the sandwich, I could probably do it one of the custards. So again, just like I said with Southside, I definitely, for a new place that I hadn't eaten at before and tried before, I definitely probably will go back down. Definitely probably. ADD. I definitely will go back down when Brent and Doris come back up, if not sooner, just in case I'm in the area. Like I did with the Southside Diner, I said that I was going to go down, and I actually went down about a week ago with Mr. Antoine of Access Granted. We went down and we had a little brunch, and we hung out a little while and just talked and just hung out. That's one thing that you'll find out about that area, with all the renovations and such. It just comfortable to just to be around and talk and such like that. You'll find that in the area of Southside Diner, and definitely down where Chicks is at. It's a few things in that area. Harris Teeter's supermarket, it's an M&T Bank, and a few other things. Even a dentist office is there. But it's one of those places that has it maybe I shouldn't say what Fells Point once was. I don't want to say that, but it does have that feel that, on the weekends and on the evenings, that is few people, hanging around and hanging out. So to get there. So again, Chicks is located at 1724 Whetstone Way, down in the Fort McHenry area. It is open 7 days a week from 10 to 10. It actually has a catering component. You will have to look on the website for that. They do have happy hour. And like I said, they have the TVs, and though I did not take advantage of it, they also have Wi-Fi. So, if you're down in that area and you have a taste for something like chicken tenders, or you just want to try it out and get the feel of it, definitely stop by. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I will be showing you more of the menu that they have. Like I said, they have a variety of beers. They call it a rotating menu. I think that's what they call it. I'm not. I personally don't consume alcohol, but I have friends that do, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as you do it in moderation. But they do have. I won't say a full bar because I wouldn't know what a full bar is, but they do have alcoholic beverages and beers. So, hey, I don't know if it can be used as a first date nowadays. I don't know. Dating is a thing of the past. I did do a little bit of research before coming on, and our very own Najee Farewell Speaks. It was liked on Instagram by him, so I'm not sure whether he likes it, interested in it, or actually tried it. But again, I think it's a place that at least deserves a consideration. Okay, so I thank you for putting up with my rambling. I tried to stay on track. I'm trying too harder to do that, to stay on track. But definitely, it's a place that I wasn't disappointed with, and I don't think you will be. So again, for Cuisine Critiques, we took in Chicks Premium Kitchen. Hey, take a moment, go out, get something good to eat. Thank you, and be blessed.